You wanted to know how we use Please Do It, so in today's video, I'm going to be taking you into our Please Do It account and pretty much showing you how you can go from this to this. For context, I've been running a digital marketing agency called Lucrative for the past 7 years where we work with many offline and online business owners. We've had the pleasure of working with a team of over 20 people, and after spending years on tools like WhatsApp, Slack, and Asana, we made the decision to switch over to Please Do It after we saw how much easier it would actually be for us to manage our projects. Please Do It is not just a communication tool, it helps us to manage our time through delegating and assigning tasks while allowing us to keep our messaging and communication super simple and most importantly in one place. It helps us understand our availability, our work capacity, and most importantly, it helps us stay on track with deadlines. If you're someone who's not so tech savvy and likes to keep things simple, then this is going to be an absolute game changer for your business. In this video, we're going to be covering the first steps that you want to take to set up Please Do It for yourself, the best ways to use Please Do It as a team, and why we think they're changing the game when it comes to project management. And make sure to stick to the end of this video because we got the Please Do It development team to share some secret unreleased features that are coming soon, and trust me, you want to hear what we found. Now, Steve Jobs once said, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. So that's why the first and most important thing you want to do is invite your team to Please Do It. Now, once they've downloaded the app and created a free account, the next step would actually be to go into Please Do It and find them, all right? Now, first things first is you want to head over to the contacts section, okay? Then once you're in the contacts section, you want to actually select new contact, all right? Now, here's where you can basically search for their name or their corresponding username with which they created the account. You can simply reach out to them to find out what their username was, or you could just go out there and search their first name and last name and just verify that it is actually them. Adding them is super easy, and it's as simple as just clicking this button to add them, and then they will receive what we call a contact request, okay? Now, contact requests are essentially requests to add you as a contact in Please Do It's app, and once they're there, you will see that they will fall into the list of people that you can actually message and collaborate with, all right? So now vice versa, if someone sends you a contact request, then you can simply just go under contact request themselves and you can actually accept any requests which were actually sent to you so you can collaborate with your new team member. Now, this also protects you and your team from anyone unwanted reaching out to you, as no one can message you or collaborate you without you actually accepting their contact request. Now, let's head over to Please Do It's task creation feature. You can actually go to the tasks section and you can just select the new button to actually create a new task, okay? Now, once you're on this menu, you can specify exactly what you want to achieve and with whom you want to achieve it with. Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, once said that a decision has not been made until people know who is responsible, by when it has to be done, and who else is affected or needs to know about that task. And that's why in Please Do It, you can specify exactly what needs to be done, who is responsible, and who else might need to be informed. Now, firstly, you want to go out there and define the task name, okay? That could be something like a new client proposal, okay? Proposal, okay? The name should ideally be something that's simple and clear so that everyone knows what you're talking about. Secondly, you can select who the main receiver of the task should be, all right? So, for example, here, I could make the main receiver Max, all right, in our team. This is kind of like the person the whole task relies on for it to get completed. Now, once that's done, then you can select the start date, the deadline, and whether it's a task that needs to be repeated, okay? So here, for example, I could say it's Saturday, the 6th of June, right? And I want it to be done by Monday, the 8th of June. And I can also verify the times. So for example, here, the task would start at 3 p.m. my time, and it would actually then set the deadline to the 8th at 11:59. If I do need to change that time, I can simply select this, click on this, and I will be able to toggle here. Let's say I want it done at 7 p.m. And then I will just play around with this. Whoops, that's actually on the hour. Boom, there we go. And I will now set the deadline. All right, awesome. Now, I also have the option to write a description and add any important attachments if need be, as well as a monetary value, which you can also add. But I want to keep it simple. And so for the description, I'm going to simply just explain that this is a client proposal for our new company, Buco Industries. Okay. And as an attachment, I'm not going to add anything for now, but if I simply click it, it's going to open up my Finder and I can add in any attachments that I want. Now, if there's anyone else that needs to be informed about this task, is maybe affected by the task or needs to collaborate on it, then here's where you can basically add what we call observers, okay? So I might go now and add one of my contacts, Denny, as being an observer for my task, all right? Then the cool thing about doing this is it makes sure that everyone is up to date at any time, while people who are not involved are not being distracted by a flood of irrelevant messaging. Now, once your task is ready, go ahead and click the send button and boom, you're good to go. Now, you can also go ahead and add priority levels to your task by simply selecting the task with which you just created and heading over to the priority section and basically toggling from normal, low, medium, or high, depending on what you and your team define as being a high priority task, a medium priority task, and a low priority task. Now, the next thing I want to familiarize you guys with is something called the task chat, okay? Now, task chats are essentially going to give you the ability to keep your conversations on task and on topic with a clear link to the outcome and deadline of that specific project. This will ultimately reduce multiple and sometimes distracting conversation threads into one clear conversation, allowing you to keep your focus onto what really matters. The problem with most platforms today is that we either try to manage so many topics or even tasks in one simple conversation. Overloaded softwares which promise to actually help you get your projects done faster, but actually create a nightmare of very confusing tools which take you hours to set up, let alone learn. Now, with this feature, it's just as easy as using WhatsApp, but ensures that nothing ever gets lost. So, for example, in my new client proposal task, I could, reach out to Max and say, hey, Max, have you been able to review the details of our project yet? If not, please let me know. If you'd like me to resend yesterday's meeting notes. Okay. And boom, we're good to go. Now, Max will reply to me within this task because everything relevant to this task gets spoken about in this conversation, okay? So that's very, very important to keep in mind. And once again, I can also go ahead and add any attachments that I want, whether that's going to be this client proposal that I'm referring to, or if I want to type out, I can also use the emojis here to make my messages a little bit, more spicy, okay? Keep me updated. Okay, here we go. Keep me updated. And let's go for the flex emoji. Okay, I'm going to search flex here and boom. Alrighty. Then we are good to go. And so this task chat is fully optimized for this new client proposal. Okay. Now, also important to keep in mind that it is not possible to delete messages in the tasks or the tasks themselves. Okay. You can only cancel tasks, right? Which is very important. And I'll show you how to do that in a few seconds. The reason we don't want people to be able to delete messages is because we want to make sure this is as professional as emails and means nothing can ever get lost or fall through the cracks, okay? Very important to keep in mind. Now, if let's say, for example, we want to somehow cancel this task and it's not necessary for us to complete it, then we can simply just select the cancel task feature and select OK. But I'm not going to do that right now because we do not need to cancel this task. In fact, I need it done very soon. Okay, let's go. Now, in the task, I can also go ahead and write my own notes relevant to that task. So, for example, I could just write a note for myself. Here, a note, remember to include a final signature from John in regards to the project. Now, this is an easy way for me to just keep any small notes that I may have relevant personally for myself. So these are only my notes and will not be seen by others. Now I can essentially also go and track the amount of time that I've spent on this task if I need to log the amount of hours that I spend doing this particular thing. I can also go into chat media and review any photos, videos, documents, or links that were sent in the lifetime of this specific task. Okay. And lastly, I can actually go ahead and create a PDF report of the whole task, which is quite nice. And I can specify exactly what I'd like to include, as well as where I'd like to send it, right? So I can send it as a messenger task, I can send it to my email, and I can create a PDF report of this specific task. Now, ultimately, the main receiver of the task, which in this case would be Max, can now keep me updated on his progress by marking the percentage of the task's completion and eventually selecting it for completion, okay? So for example, here, with this little dial here, you can essentially mark it from 0% to 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, just to give us an idea of exactly how far we are with that task. And so let's say we're here at 75%, then you'll notice that in your task tray also, you'll see that the task is almost completed, which is a very good thing, okay? Because we need it done on time. Now, whenever Max goes out there and basically marks the task at 100%, then what will happen is Please Do It will actually ask you to approve the task for completion, right? And so here I have the ability to either approve it, which would mean I would need to rate the task from 1 to 5. And here I can just evaluate Max's performance and see if he got the task done well, on time, and with the required instructions, okay? I can also put in short feedback. So here I'm going to rate him as a 4-star because he actually did an amazing job. But what I'd love for him to do next time is just make sure that he communicates with the team slightly more promptly. So everything was excellent. Next time, I'd love for us to try and improve the speed of our communication. And boom, and now I can approve the task and it is essentially completed, okay? Now, we truly believe that the more that you control your deadlines, topics, and feedback that you give to your team, the better you can optimize the workflow and ultimately your success in your business. Now, the next task-based feature I want to introduce you guys to is called recurring tasks. Sometimes there are certain tasks that need to be done every day, every week, or even every month, and we need to keep track and never lose sight of them. So in order to access that, we simply head over to the tasks, then we go over to recurring templates, and then we can actually create a brand new recurring template, okay? And here I could call it project review, or I could even call it weekly project review. And once again, I could assign my receiver, which is the ultimate person responsible for it. So this time, it's going to be responsible. Denny is responsible for this task, and I can now define if I want it to go daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly, okay? Now, if I want to, let's say, go daily, I don't want to do every day, then I can also select exactly what days. So maybe I just want to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll remove the weekends. And my task start time would start at 9 a.m. And then I can define the end time, which would maybe be 5 p.m., so 1700. And then I could also define when I want to start this recurring feature, okay? So for example, today is the 6th of June. I want to start it from Monday and get it going from then. And I want it to actually go on maybe till the end of July, because I only need it done till then. Maybe you might need it done till the end of the year and you may set it again, but here I want to do it till the end of July. Then once again, I can add a description as well as any attachments that may be necessary. And I can add in any team members who may be relevant towards the specific thing. So here, maybe once again, I might go Max. He needs to also keep up to date with these weekly reports. So he's going to need to, be involved in them. Then I'll just go save, and at Monday, 9 a.m., a task is going to automatically be created as weekly project review, and it's going to run every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which is pretty amazing. Now, at this point, you know how to create tasks, and you may even have a number of them already lined up. Here's how you can stay organized and filter exactly what you see and how you see them, okay? Now, once you select the task section on mobile, a tray will actually open up for you, and with this, you can essentially now filter exactly what type of tasks you want to see, right? Now, maybe I might want to focus on my recurring tasks, okay? So if that is the case, then I simply just go to recurring under my task section, and I'll see all the recurring tasks that I have right now, okay? I can also filter by the ones that I've sent So what are the recurring tasks I've actually sent to my team? What are the recurring tasks that I have received? And what are the recurring tasks that I'm just observing? It's not my responsibility to do it, but I need to, be involved in that specific particular thing or stay updated with what's going on if it may affect me, okay? If I want to now go and search up all my upcoming tasks, okay, then I can filter by the exact same things and see all the upcoming tasks that I've sent, received, or that I'm involved in. I can also then go and see my in progress tasks. And once again, I can filter by the ones I've sent, received, and I'm observing, right? I can also check my completed tasks and see what is sent, received, observing, and the exact same for cancelled. Now, I personally like to do this to only focus on tasks that I'm responsible for because I do send a number of tasks to my team. And so sometimes I just need to be in focus mode and focus on what I need to get done at that point in time. So this really comes in handy in those scenarios. Now, of course, there are also other important things that need to be discussed, announced, or shared that are not related to a specific task. And that's why Please Do It has a full-blown chat feature. It works and feels exactly like a chat app, now allowing you to have all your task management and communication in one place. Now, personally, I like to pin my most important conversations at the top. But before I get there, I want to show you how simple it is to actually start a new chat with someone. Now, the first way is simply to head over to any contact that you want. So for example, that could be Max here, and I could actually go out there and select the chat feature, and I could actually start a conversation right over here. I could also head over into the chat section, right? And I could see, and I can actually go new chat, and I can select who I want to chat with, okay? Or I could also do a new group chat, and I could essentially add the people that I want. So for example, maybe I have team here, and I can go and just add in Jessica, and I could go in and just add in, let's see here, Shani, okay? And I could, boom, create a new group and call it team. Alrighty. And then I also have the ability to go out here and add a picture if needs be, but now I have a little group chat for myself, okay? But my team's probably wondering what's going on right now, so I should probably delete this because it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Now, essentially, once I have my conversations, I can essentially also pin it. This is actually something I personally like to do. So I actually pin my most important conversations by simply clicking pin, right? And boom, my conversation's there. If I'm on my phone, I can also hover on the on the chat and select pin, and boom, we are good to go. And I've pinned that conversation, and yes, alrighty. Now, basically, what I like to do is I like to have group chats based on my different teams. For example, I have a group chat here for my sales team. I have a group chat here for my promotional team, and we call ourselves the sales force and the promo force, inspired by a few people. And then we also have my content team. And so essentially all these groups allow us to have a simple communication as well as also my overall company. And here we just share really cool stuff, any announcements that need to go, because we still want to be able to chat and speak about normal stuff. But when it comes to it being related to tasks, we need to make sure that we handle that correctly so that we don't have chats and tasks coming together and creating the mess that you guys are here to solve right now, okay? I want us to get into the last feature, which is really cool that I really love a lot, okay? And this is basically all about the newsfeed. Now, if you're somebody who gets a lot of messages, or maybe you're just wanting to come into the app really quickly and see the most important updates, then the newsfeed feature is actually really awesome. You can simply head to the newsfeed section, and the cool thing about this is I can see any updates across all my messages and tasks, okay? And the best part about this is it just gives you a quick glance to see what's going on, and you have the option to actually go into that task or into that conversation if needs be. The cool thing also is that here, Denny just, said, looking forward to the video, LaRue. I could actually see that at a glance here. And if I wanted to, I could go into the chat, right? But if I don't want to specifically go in, then I just get a quick glance and update, but the notification of the actual message still shows as unread. So I never forget that I need to actually go back and get back to them in that particular topic. It's kind of like getting a quick update on the message without actually needing to read the notification or needing to actually get back to them right at that moment. Once again, this comes in especially handy when you have a lot of new messages, but have very little time to check them. Sometimes I actually have 100 plus messages and only 5 of them are relevant to me. And so I only want to go into those 5 at this point in time. And the others I can definitely get back to a lot later. Now, the last thing I want to briefly show you guys before we end this tutorial is work reports. Now, work reports are really cool because it allows you to write a report of exactly how maybe your day went or how a certain deliverable went or anything that is very important for a manager or other people to keep track of, okay? Now, it's really, really easy and simple to use. All you need to essentially do is head over to the work reports section here, okay? And I can create a new report for myself. So maybe I can add an attachment and today, and I could say, overview. Overview. Number of deals closed. 3 new clients. Summary. The day was really great, and I was able to get to get a ton of stuff done. However, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I can essentially explain how the day went, and I can save that work report. Now then, and I can send it, okay? Now then, how do I actually get somebody to review that work report, okay? So the easiest way actually is to go to the contact with which you want to see your work report. So for example, I could select Denny here. And once I'm on Denny's contact, I can actually select the option, this contact is allowed to read my work reports. Now that means that Denny can actually go into my reports and see what I've actually said for a specific day as an overview. And this becomes an easy way to actually track the reports that any of your team members may need to actually give to you as an overview and update. Alright guys, now that's my short tutorial on how to use Please Do It, but definitely make sure to stay tuned because there are a ton of amazing features that might come to the platform, some of which might include the ability to link certain tasks with group conversations, with contact conversations, making it even easier to collaborate and integrate between both. We can expect some really amazing features too, like phone calls and being able to actually use things like that to go out there and crush it. They've recently launched some really amazing stuff too, like quick replies and the ability to actually sketch and draw within certain tasks. Now guys, that's it for this video. I wish you massive success for your company and your productivity. And as my clients would say, please do it.